I'm looking for a perfect sandwich loaf, and today I'm testing two hydrations for toast bread. First is a 65% hydration, and the second one is 80%. During this test, I want to answer a couple of questions. How hydration affects the dough? Is it easy to work with this dough? How does it affect the final crumb? And of course, is it worth it to increase hydration for toast bread? Let's find out together. For this test, one dough gets 130 grams of water, while the other gets 165 grams. The difference doesn't sound like much, but you'll see how dramatically it changes the dough. Both bowls contain exactly the same ingredients. Now let's add the water and start mixing. Right away, I'm noticing a difference. The 80% hydration dough comes together much more easily. It offers less resistance and has fewer lumps. The 65% dough feels noticeably stiffer and takes a bit more effort to mix. After a short rest, both doughs are already changing. The 65% dough is holding its shape well and feels stronger. The 80% dough is softer and much more extensible. This is where hydration starts to become obvious. The 65% dough already feels structured and elastic. The 80% dough stretches much further, but its gluten network is still developing. At this point, the lower hydration dough is definitely easier to handle. After about an hour, the difference becomes even clearer. The 80% dough is finally developing strength, but it still feels much softer. I'm using gentle coil foils here to avoid tearing the gluten structure. Both doughs are showing signs of fermentation, but they're getting there in very different ways. By the third fold, both doughs look healthy and active. The 65% dough feels strong and organized. The 80% dough feels lighter, airier, and much more delicate. Bulk fermentation is complete. Both doughs have roughly doubled in volume. They're holding their shape, showing plenty of activity, and look ready for shaping. Even now, the 65% dough is noticeably less sticky. The 80% dough still feels softer and much more fragile. This is the stage I was most curious about. The 65% dough is extremely easy to shape. It holds the tension well and behaves exactly how I would expect sandwich loaf to behave. The 80% dough requires a much gentler touch. It's manageable, but definitely more demanding. After shaping, both loaves go into identical pans for their final proof. Now it's a time to see whether the extra work will pay off in the finished loaves. I am baking both loaves the same way, covered for 15 minutes, then uncovered to finish developing the crust. Here are the finished loaves. After a glance, they're most similar than I expected. The 80% loaf developed a few surface cracks and has a slightly thinner crust. The 65% loaf browned a little more and feels slightly sturdier. This is the 65% hydration loaf, and this is the 80% hydration loaf. Side by side, you can clearly see the difference in the crumb structure. After making both loaves, here are my takeaways. The 65% dough was significantly easier to mix, handle, and shape. The 80% dough required more patience and more careful handling. Did the extra hydration improve the bread? Maybe, but for a sandwich loaf, I'm not convinced the difference is dramatic enough to justify the extra work. This is only the first experiment in my search for a perfect sandwich bread, and there are plenty more to come. Hit the like button if you liked this video and subscribe for more videos on my channel. Happy baking!